At the time of my diagnosis, I was only, I was in primary 7 going into secondary school, and at that time I was only 11 years old, so it's quite obviously a young age to suddenly get the sad, terrible news they're suffering from cancer.
It was November 2006 when Greg Noble got the news that he had acute lymphoblastic leukemia, a disease that he'd spend the next 3.5 years of his life fighting. Travelling from their home in Galashiels to Edinburgh on an almost daily basis to be at his bedside, the battle was one that not only affected Greg, but also the rest of his family. But thanks to the charity Click Sergeant, it wasn't a battle they had to fight on their own.
Initially, he was hospitalised for just over 5 weeks, and that's a difficult time for people financially to, either to travel up and down or to find accommodation. So it's good that the charity supply, that free accommodation for the families. It makes such a difference, and it's so homely. I mean, they call them home from home, and it certainly, initially you want to be in your own house, but it certainly is the next best thing.
Click Sergeant works with families like the Nobles to help them in their time of need. By providing both emotional and financial support, the charity lets families focus on what really matters at the time, looking after their child.
If you can imagine that if you've got a child or a teenager and suddenly they get diagnosed with cancer, they're told that their child has a life-threatening condition. So you can imagine the issues in terms of money and parents that are working and, caring for other siblings, and just the whole kind of how you manage to run your family and keep your household going, but actually be with your child when they're being treated at the same time.
10 children and young people across the country are diagnosed with cancer every day. The charity is hoping that any money raised through this year's Text Santa campaign will help them to reach more people like Greg and his family.
It's a really, really important charity. I'd really encourage people to donate, obviously, to Click Sergeant. It's a really wonderful charity, especially for children who are suffering from cancer, and obviously provided me with a lot of confidence to get through my treatment.